EAGLES, Eagles.
Breaking news, everybody in Eagle Land. Welcome into a special breaking news edition here on JAKIB Sports. Did you miss me? Good Saturday to everybody. The Eagles make a trade today. They just picked up cornerback Jaire Alexander from the Baltimore Ravens. Many of you probably know the name Jaire Alexander from his long career in Green Bay. He was an excellent cornerback in Green Bay. He went to the Ravens this past year, only played in 2 games this year, and now midseason here, week 9 in the NFL, traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles pick up Jaire Alexander and a 2027 7th-round draft pick from the Ravens, and they give up a 2026 6th-round draft pick. Now, there's going to be a lot of conversation about this move and how much it actually means. I think it's a little bit of the big name trap territory of, he's a really big name player. He had an unbelievable career, as I mentioned, with the Green Bay Packers, and many of you probably know most of him from that time. And he was a phenomenal corner. Now, he's had a down year this year, only played in 2 games. We'll kind of run through some of those numbers together, how he looks right now. But my first reaction, guys, and I just saw this at my family's house here, is you give up basically nothing to guaranteed improve the spot. I mean, you're swapping a 6th and a 7th round pick. You get back a 7th in 2027, so 2 years from now, which we all know Howie will probably do something with that. And then you give up a 6th round pick this year in a draft class where we already have a ton of draft picks, and you bring in, a cornerback that at least has pedigree in the NFL. Right now you have, Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, and Jacorian Bennett, all 3 of which haven't really worked out great right now. So I'm not going to sit here and say this guy is about to save our secondary, but to do a pick swap with a 6 and a 7 and bring in a guy like this who's only making, I think he had a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Ravens this year, and he had a $2 million signing bonus. So we could be inheriting the rest of a $2 million deal. This is basically costing us nothing. And you tell me, is it better than Keely Ringo, Jacorian Bennett, and what's it, Adoree Jackson? I think it is. I think it is. So again, I'm not going to sit here and overreact to the trade like everything is fixed. But I think when you look at it, all things considered, and you move a 6, you swap 6th and 7th round draft picks, yeah, you're better. You're better than the law firm of Ringo, Jackson, and Bennett. All right. I heard that somewhere. Somebody called them the law firm of Ringo, Jackson, and Bennett. I think you're better. So from that perspective, I see it as kind of a why not type of trade where you bring in that type of player. Now let's get into some of his numbers right now. That's probably the concerning part. I'll go to the contract first. So, in the offseason, he did sign a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens. He had a $2 million signing bonus. The whole contract was guaranteed. So obviously I'm no cap expert, but $2 million signing bonus, you're probably looking at a $2 million base salary. He's already played 8 weeks. It's probably $1 million what it's costing the Eagles. So no concern on the contract front. Okay. No concern on the contract front. After the year, he is a free agent, not undrafted, obviously. He is an unrestricted free agent. So that's what it will look like after the year. So this is basically a trade for this year. That's it. So far this year, I understand he's only played 2 games. I understand people do not love this metric. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it however you like it. He's had his worst PFF grade this year by so far. It's crazy. He's only played 2 games and he's only played 61 total snaps, but he's graded out at 36.9 this year, which is, awful. And in his career, guys, since 2018, he's been unbelievably graded with the Green Bay Packers. I mentioned how, he had obviously a very good career with Green Bay. He was kind of a hot name in the summer, if you guys remember. So not doing good this year, but only 2 games. I don't think you can make a full proclamation about what the player is going to be off of 2 games this year. I just know he hasn't been good. Now one thing I jumped on here right away, so I haven't had a chance to research as much. I do have to get the Jaire Alexander injury history. Let me see if I can pull that up pretty quickly and see if he's got any lingering injuries or any things to look for. But I'll look, Big Track, if he was playing nickel in Baltimore. I'll take a look at that. So 2024, he had a severe knee injury, third grade PCL tear in his right knee. So I believe he missed some time in the 2024 season last year. Looks like he played, let me see how many games played he had last year with Green Bay. Only 360 snaps. So he was way down in the snaps. Let me see if I can get the total games. I'll go to 2024. He had 7 games played in 24 and 7 games played in 23. 4 games played in 21. A lot of injuries. All right. Now that I'm looking at this, 21, 4 games played. 22, he had 16 games played. 23, he had 7 games played. And 24, he had 7 games played. And so far this year, 2 games played. So again, he's got some stuff going on there. He's obviously a little bit of an older player. He's 28 years old, so not crazy old. But when you're looking at 3 of the last 4 seasons, he's played less than 8 games. That's a big injury concern. But again, you really didn't give up a lot here. I want to keep adding that in because anything I say that's negative about the player, we have to add in. This is a very low-cost addition to the Eagles, in a room where you need help on corner. So, I see people in the chat saying the move sucks. All right, well, let me just ask you. Simply put, is Jaire Alexander better for this team than Ringo, Jackson, and Bennett? If your answer to that is yes, then you gave up way too little to care. It's a good move. If your answer to that is no, and you'd rather see Keely Ringo keep developing, you think Ja'Cory Bennett has a bigger upside, or you like Adoree Jackson, I don't know why you would like that, then, okay, the trade stinks. But you're not giving up enough. You're not giving up enough for anyone to say the trade stinks. You're swapping a 6th and a 7th round pick, guys. Look at what Howie does with 6th and 7th round picks. Look at the trade history from Howie Roseman the last 3 years with 6th and 7th round picks. He moves them all over the place. You know what I mean? So you're not giving up enough here to pay $1 million to Jaire Alexander. In my opinion, the trade sucks from a sense of we've done a lot of these Temu trades, and I think we're all kind of waiting for a big shoe to drop. Obviously, I've been talking about the potential for Myles Garrett. There's reports they're not trading him. I still think the Eagles should give whatever it takes to move to get him. I think everybody's kind of waiting for this big shoe to drop. And this does fall in the camp of a Temu trade. Again, you swap 6th and 7th, and you hope the player pans out for you. So it again falls into that category. But, I think we're all looking for an edge rusher, to be honest, right now. So, make of it what you will. I don't think the trade is going to save the Eagles, but I tell you what, in his peak career, in his peak seasons, 22, he played 16 games, 2020, he played 15 games. If you kind of look at those 2 seasons for him, 22, he was graded out as an 80 in PFF, which is exceptional. And 2020, where he played 15 games, he was a 90 grade, which again, PFF, take for what you will, but 90 is a great grade. That's crazy good. Like there's few players in the league who get graded as 90s. So could he have a little bit of a resurgence in Philadelphia? I think it's possible. I think you're grasping a little bit at straws. He's 28 years old. So he's 28 years old. He's born in 97. He'll be 29 in February. Looks like he has the same birth date as actually Cooper DeJean and Saquon Barkley. I know that because we won the Super Bowl on February 9th, and it looks like that's his birthday. So he'll be 29 then. And guys, he was great with the Packers, but I don't know how much he has left. I think that's probably the big concern here. I will take a couple comments from the great people of JAKIB Nation. I said it at the start of the show. Did you miss me, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all. John, I'll talk to John hopefully later. John is out at a family dinner right now, so he can't join me, but John will join me a little bit later on if he's available. I'll try and get his talk on the trade or what he thinks of the trade. But my guess from John is he's going to say another corner and another Temu. It's nothing big, and it's not really going to help all that much. So, Flex, I hear you too. I see the comment. It was 3 seasons ago. The player is – but Flex, here's the thing I'll say. Dude, you swap a 6th and a 7th. You're basically giving up, nothing. And I agree, Greg. The grading can be very wonky, but we all know that he had a great career in Green Bay and was a great corner there for a long time. So, he's with Philly now. I think you give up too little to really say the trade stinks, but it is fair to categorize it as another Temu trade with who knows how much upside. I don't really know how much upside, he has this year. He's only played in 2 games. So let me see if there's anything on 2025 on, was he a healthy scratch? Was he injured this year? Does anybody have, I can see if I can go a little deeper and come up with 2025 Jaire Alexander injury report. See if I can get what's going on. So there's this site called Draft Sharks, apparently, and it gives you a risk of injury. His chance of injury in 2025 is 95%, with a 20% chance to get injured per game. That is brutal. All right. Yeah, so 24, he's coming off the PCL tear. He had a grade 3 PCL tear last year, suffered a torn PCL in his right knee. He had surgery in late 24 and it ended his season last year. So it looks like he looks like he's been a healthy scratch this year. There's no injury listed from what I can see. In 24, early in the year last year, he had a groin pull. He had a shoulder problem in November of 23, missed 6 games. Another groin pull in early 22. And then he had a shoulder AC joint sprain in 21 that caused him to miss 13 games. So shoulders and knees. That's what it looks like with him. Shoulders, knees, and groins. All right. Head, shoulders, knees, and groins. That's the Jaire Alexander injury report. All right. So that's kind of what he's doing. I got my family chuckling at my songs for you guys. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you give up too much to really say it's a bad trade, but I don't think he helps us all that much. All right, Howie, where's Myles Garrett? Where is Myles Garrett? I think we all want Myles Garrett. I think we all looking for Myles Garrett. But I don't think he got worse. I don't think you got worse from Jacorian Bennett, Keely Ringo, and who am I missing? Adoree Jackson. All right. So interesting. But you give up very little. Here's my boy Anthony DeBona putting some info out on him. He says just 2 games for the Ravens, 43 coverage snaps. He's allowed 5 receptions on 5 targets for 116 yards. So not much risk, but he has not been a good player. Okay, he has not been a good player in recent weeks, or really even, I don't know how he was graded out. Let me look how he was graded out last year in the games he played. He was graded high last year in the games he played. I'll have to look a little bit deeper. And by the way, for somebody saying, did he line up in the slot this year? No, he did not line up in the slot at all. 55 snaps this year, he had 61 snaps this year. 54 have come at the outside corner. So he's not lining up in the slot at all. Billy says no more Walker. I'll take Walker. I don't know. I'm not as high on the Bradley Chubbs and the Jalen Phillipses of the world, but I'm willing to give up whatever it takes for Myles Garrett. I always see these reports. The Cleveland Browns are not trading Myles Garrett. Okay, so they're going to hold on to a 30-year-old edge rusher and be 2-6 and have another losing season. Do whatever it takes. Get them off Myles Garrett. I'm telling you right now, that owner will step in if Howie makes a good enough offer, and I'm willing to do it at this point. But another mediocre trade, everybody. Another mediocre at best trade. All right? Again, very low risk. Very low risk. Let's add that context in. I don't think he can be worse than the law firm of Bennett, Brown, and Jackson, or Ringo, Bennett, and Jackson. Okay, I don't think he can be worse than them. And you take a low-risk shot for a half a year. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent after the year. So I've seen a lot on Bradley Chubb. I've seen a lot on Jalen Phillips. I've seen a lot on a couple other guys out there, but I don't know, dude. They don't. It doesn't excite me. I don't think it's going to fix the edge room to the level that people think those types of moves. I'm really looking for a real move here at the edge because, you're going to be picking late. I don't know if you're finding your edge late. The last time we drafted an edge late in the first round, it was Nolan Smith. And look, let's be real about Nolan Smith. The guy looks like he's got a bunch of upside. The guy can't stay healthy. The guy is small. He's an undersized edge rusher. That's what you get when you're picking late in the draft. You're not getting a guy with the top traits. So I saw Jermaine Johnson. I think that would be a pretty decent trade if they went with Jermaine Johnson. But I saw a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson. I don't want to give up a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson, dude. That I'd rather give up 4 ones for Myles Garrett, man. I'd rather give up 4 ones for Myles Garrett. I saw Prince. I see Jermaine Johnson. People are talking about him. So maybe that's an option, but I don't know. Everybody in the chat, drop your grades, A, B, C, D, or F on the Jaire Alexander trade. All right. You get a 2027 7th-round pick. You get rid of a 2026 6th-round pick, and you bring in Jaire Alexander. B, C, a lot of C's in the chat. I got to see a B. Eric, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Gino Brown, what's up, my friend? Zander, Alexander is a Pro Bowler. What do you mean? Sometimes scheme matters and you're really ready to give up a farm for a 30-year-old. Yes, I am. I'm ready to give up a farm for the greatest defensive player maybe in the 21st century, Gino Brown. That's Myles Garrett you're talking about, my friend. That's no Nolan Smith or Jalix Hunt, with all due respect to those guys, okay? Myles Garrett puts this team in the Super Bowl conversation immediately. B, A, an A. All right. So you like the low risk upside potential here if you're giving it an A. I think that's a little homerish, but I can buy it. Cullen says a B. Flexen says a D. Flex, I thought you were going F. I'll take the D. Big Trag with a B. All right. So people are back and forth. Princess is Z. Prince, I don't know what you mean by that. All right. You're going to have to clarify that in the chat, Prince. Here's 4133. A+++. No question. We can only win this trade. Well, I agree with you from a sense of you gave up so little. You gave up so little, but an A++ would mean that he has to contribute to the team. All right. Philly guy says I'm an a-hole. Sorry, Philly guy. Not everybody's going to like me. Appreciate you for being here, though. All right. Not everybody's going to like me. I can't please everybody. Okay. You just can't in life. You're going to have these guys who are like, you're an a-hole. Okay. It is what it is. Steven gives it a B-. I'm good with that. I think the big takeaway of the show right now is how he's not done. I agree with that. How he's not done. All right. At this point, I think an edge rusher's coming. You are hearing a lot of noise about the edge rushers right now in Philly, or at least the talk of them coming to Philly. So we'll see what they end up doing there. Here's boy Ken James. Ken, you're a Packer guy. It looks like with the Packer logo. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Everybody, don't forget to hit that like button. By the way, we should have at least 250 likes on this show. Ken, what do you know, man? What do you know, Ken? Is Jaire Alexander worth a pick swap of a 6 and a 6 and a 7 out? Is that what he is worth to you? You tell me. FP equals F and pathetic. Wow, that is a harsh grade there, my boy. Martin Perez. SMD, my girl SMD saying L-. So you're saying this is a triple L. Ski Mask Howie. Kyle says, I plead the 5th on the trade. Yeah, I agree. V Prince, you're right. They got him for nothing. I mean, come on. You got him for nothing. And again, the number one question to ask right now about the trade for Jaire Alexander is Jaire Alexander better than the law firm of Bennett, Ringo, and Jackson? If he's better than those three, or you think he gives you the opportunity to be better than those three together at cornerback 2, then you basically gave up nothing to do that. I think he is on the other side of his prime, obviously, and he's got the injury problems that I read off to you. I mean, not a lot of snaps in the last three years, guys, which I think is a little concerning. Yes, and the other news, Zach Lambert, thank you for that, is Azeez Ojulari goes to injured reserve, and Marcus Epps goes to injured reserve. Okay, Marcus Epps goes to injured reserve. So I will remind you all, he was a first-round draft pick in 2018, number 18 overall to the Packers, and he worked out well for them. So, but I think there's upside here. I don't know. All the missed games recently concerns me, and I'm not going to worry too much about the PFF grade, to be honest with you. I mean, it is what it is, but a lot of missed games, man. A lot of missed games. And if he thrives more in a zone system and Vic can pull more out of him, then I think you gave up little enough to not say it stinks. I think that's a harsher grading because you only gave up. Yeah, I agree, Impulsive. It's no risk at this point. And that's my boy Philly to Chicago. I guess his name changed on YouTube. Everybody's names are changing. But so it's low risk enough, everybody. I'll pull up some of the grades for you guys. I'll let you guys see what I'm looking at here. We'll go to the PFF and I'll share some of it. I know not everybody likes it. It is what it is. You don't have to like it. I don't really care if you like it or don't. Okay. Let's pull it up here, though. Here's the PFF grade. You can see in the 2 games this year, we'll go over. So 2025, you can look down here is his season grades, 36.9 this year. Sorry, guys. So you can see in 25, 36.9. But earlier, 24, great grade. 23, great grade. 22, great grade. 2021, pretty great grade. 2020, exceptional grade. 2019, good grade. 2018, very consistent player with Green Bay. All right. Gino says, Gino, it's a good question here. Zander, answer me this. Are you giving up AJ in a trade for Myles Garrett? Well, I'll say this to you. Why do you think Cleveland Browns, who are 2-6 with no quarterback on the roster, why do you think they would want a 28-year-old, $32 million wide receiver? Like, I understand the premise of people saying Myles Garrett's you're going to need to give up really good players for that. Okay. 3 1s is a lot. I'll remind everybody. I don't remember the last time 3 1s have been traded for a player. And why would the Browns want AJ? They don't have a quarterback. They have what's the guy's name? Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders, who we have no idea what Shadur is going to be. A 3rd and a 5th round pick. I don't think they'll want AJ Brown to answer your question. I'll go to some super chats. Big thanks to all the super chats. All super chats go to the top. Thank you very much. Rocking the Corvette shirt today, folks. Blaze says, Jaire is a zone corner. Ravens play a lot of man. Good point, Blaze. That's maybe one of the reasons that you can see the grades over here very low. He was on the outside corner, so maybe, with the help of Quinyon, with the help of Cooper, with the help of Reed and Makuba and our safeties, maybe potentially he's got a little spark here in Philly. Maybe. Eagles fan, what's up, brother? Appreciate you being here, and thank you for the $5 super chat. For the people saying who is the player in the late round that would be anywhere close to the town of Alexander? Some fans are ignorant. Eagles fan, believe me, I know that well. Alexander Harris, what's up, my boy? Leg bone in the building. LMAO, Big Z, not 4 1s for Garrett. Harris, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I know people keep saying to me, well, you got to make the window longer. You need to keep drafting young players. Super Bowl windows historically last for 5 years. And that's generous. The Cowboys won their 3 titles in 5 years. 10-year Super Bowl windows, they don't really exist. And you could argue our Super Bowl window has been since 22. So what do we got? Like, I understand people live in this world where you think it's going to be open forever. All of the history with every single team in the history of football would tell you that's probably not how it's going to play out. Now, Howie's doing well right now as a general manager. We got a young quarterback, a young core, young receiver, young everything, I understand, but you're going to have offensive line turnover. You've already seen the turnover on the defense. You're going to have to pay a lot of those defenders. What are we holding future draft picks for, man? We got an opportunity right now. Myles Garrett, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, Jahad Campbell, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. That's all 4 levels right there. It's all 3 levels of your defense right there. Alexander, I want you to think about that defense. Myles Garrett, Jordan Davis and/or Moro Ajomo, Jalen Carter. Think about that defensive front. That's the modern day Reggie and Jerome. And you're telling me you'd rather keep draft picks, which are flyers? It's a lottery ticket. Go over to Wawa, Alexander Harris, drop a 20 in the machine, and you can pick up a lotto ticket. That's what you're doing in the draft. Yeah, I'll take Myles Garrett, the guy who's headed to the Hall of Fame. He'll be wearing a gold jacket. Kimberly, what's up, Kimberly? Z, he's zone versus man now. Less chance of injury. Good point, Kimberly. Appreciate it. Blaze with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, we were calling for this guy in free agency. Yes, we were. I remember. It's a great trade for our cornerback twos, our dog shit. Now, all of a sudden, he's not good, LOL. He gets healthy, we're good. Blaze, I think when you consider what we gave for him, I'm good with your analysis. I think you're maybe a little optimistic, but that's all right. You're entitled to do that. All right. Here's Leon. What's up, Leon? Howie, stop playing and give us what we need. Just saying, I'm with you, Leon. A lot of these Temu trades, man. We live in this world of Temu trades. I don't know what it is. We're all over these Temu trades. Every time I turn around, I texted John, hey, John, are you available, bro, for a chat? He goes, Howie's killing me, man. Howie's killing me. I'm like, all right. He's right, though. Shout out to my boy Alexander. Thank you, brother. Appreciate the $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, I just want people to give Alexander time. Kevin Byard stinked when he was here, but is shining with the Bears. I think he leads the NFL in interceptions right now, Kevin Byard. But you're right. Another in-season trade for the Birds. Huff wasn't good here, but shining now. Wrong scheme. We have to give players time to adjust, and I love the trade. All right. I think that's a fair take, Alexander. Wait, so you're telling me you love the trade? Oh, no. Alexander Harris. I appreciate the $20 super chat, but I'm about to put you in the neutral bullet, my friend. Are you kidding me? You're telling me you love a 6th and 7th round pick swap for a player who's missed more than 50% of the season, 3 of the last 4 seasons, and you don't want me to trade for Myles Garrett? Alexander Harris, are you okay? You don't want to trade for Myles Garrett, but you're talking to me like a 6th and 7th round pick swap. You love the trade. Come on, man. Come on, man. Paul Barbarian, what's up, brother? Paul, what's up, my man? I appreciate it. All right. Paul says, Big Z, I heard Cleveland won't trade Garrett, but Jalen Phillips is a possibility. I did see that. And you know what that means, Paul? Paul, let me teach you a little bit, Paul, about the NFL. All right. When you have a Diana Rossini come out and say the Browns insist on not trading Myles Garrett, you know what that is, Paul? Let me tell you what that is. That's what I'm called negotiation. All right. They say to Diana, the Eagles are apparently willing to give 3 1s. Now, if they go to 3 and a 2, or 3 1s and a 3, or 3 1s and Jalix Hunt, or 3 1s and Nolan Smith, I'll take the deal. So put out to Diana and tell them we're not moving it. Put out to Diana, tell her we're not moving Myles, and let's see what Howie will come up to. That's what I call negotiation. Now, hey, maybe they don't trade him. They probably won't, to be honest with you. But if you give them enough, the owner will step in and say, we got to take that deal. Think about it, guys. They're the Cleveland Browns, man. Think about it. If they can get 3 1s right now for Myles Garrett, they're never going to get that again, as good as that player is. He'll be over 30 now next year. So if you do it next year, you're looking at, all right, maybe a 1 or 2 1s, maybe if he keeps up the pace that he's on. He already got 10 sacks this year. Myles Garrett. He had 5 sacks last game, and they lost by double digits. By the way, can I just, as a football fan, can I just make a statement to everybody? Let me just make a statement to you all. All right, as a football fan, you know what is a grave travesty? That if the Cleveland Browns don't trade Myles Garrett, and that's fine, they signed him, he signed the contract. They can do what they want. What a waste of one of the most talented players that's been in the NFL, maybe the most talented defensive player in the 21st century. I think he's that good. I know some people are going to say that's crazy. I think he's better end than Aaron Donald was tackle. That's how good I think Myles Garrett is. And what a waste of a career to do it in Cleveland. He has 2 total seasons above 500. I mean, as a football fan, don't you all just are like, man, that sucks. Yeah, it's a great example, Daz. It's like Mike Trout. It's like, what a waste. What a waste of one of the best players we've had the opportunity to watch play football. And anybody who watches, a lot of the NFL more than just the Eagles, you know how crazy good Myles Garrett is. Unblockable player. All right? Unblockable. It's just sad that he's been in Cleveland the whole time. But it is what it is. So, all right, everybody. Jaire Alexander, let's get back on here. I'll take some more comments from the great people of JAKIB Nation. We got a couple more super chats we'll get to. Harris follows up. I'm a little drunk, but yes, I'm good. Harris, appreciate you, brother. All right. Be safe out there, all right, my friend? Be safe on a Saturday evening here. Oh, by the way, I'm happy to be talking to everybody on a Saturday. Normally Saturdays we are not talking. Here's 41. What's up, brother? We'll keep the window open until the league renegotiates the CBA in 2030. Howie is just on a different level, understanding comp picks in the contract. I understand. I still want Myles Garrett, but I hear you. Kyle Corsi says, Zander, give me Garrett. I'll book my ticket to Philly for the parade route. Oh, I already reached out to the guy who got us set up at City Hall and said, hey, if you hear news this week that Myles Garrett was traded to the Eagles, or you watch my breaking news segment on JAKIB Sports that Myles Garrett is sent to the Eagles, I want you to lock in our spot at the parade right now. Click. That's what Myles Garrett does for this team. My boy Philly Don. What's up, Philly Don? He says, thank you for the $10 super chat. Jermaine Johnson posts like he's being traded to the Birds. You think there's anything to it, Zander? I do, because they're in the market for edge rushers. And the one thing about the Eagles is they're always talking about everybody, Philly Don, because in order to properly assess and gauge the market, they have to know what everybody's worth in the NFL. You know what I mean? It's common sense. So they call about everybody. Now, does that mean they're going to make a move for everybody? Absolutely not. But if Jermaine Johnson's on the block, Howie called to figure out what it's for. If Bradley Chubb's on the block, Howie called to figure out what he's going for. If Jalen Phillips is on the block, Howie's calling to figure out what the market is. That's how you get a gauge on the market, on what your players are worth or what other players are worth. Remember, Howie is playing a different game than coaches, than fans, than everybody. All right, so he is definitely in there. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Don, and there's absolutely something to it. He said, I wouldn't mind that trade. I think Garrett is out of any talks, unfortunately. You might be right, Don. I'll tell you what I wouldn't like. I wouldn't like a second-round pick for Jermaine Johnson. I know you guys are going to be like, how do you want to give up 4 ones for Myles and not a second for Jermaine? Does Jermaine Johnson really do what you guys think? I mean, I don't know. You know, how much does he do for this edge rushing group? You know, I don't know how much. Let's go to my boy Bob Brown. I'll get to all super chats. All super chats go to the top. Appreciate everybody and our legend members. Bob Brown is a legend member here on JAKIB Sports. So don't forget to get your memberships in, everybody. We got a bunch of jersey giveaways we'll be doing on the channel, and that's all for our YouTube members and our website members. So click join on the channel. You can be $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month, which is our legend package, and that's Bob Brown. So we always read our legends comments more than others. Bob says, Z, reports are the Jets want a second for Johnson and Miami wants a third for Phillips. Grab them both. Hunt, Nolan, Phillips, and Johnson. Good room. I like it, Bob. I like it. I think second's a little rich for Jermaine. Let's go look up what Jermaine's been. Let's go look at how he's showing up here. You know, I think that's a little rich for Jermaine. All right, I think that's a little rich for Jermaine. He's playing some good snaps. I mean, he was graded out high. Let's look at what his stats were. 14 pressures this year, so he's already up from last year. I don't know how many games, he only played 82 snaps last year, so Jermaine must have had a big injury last year, I would assume. 14 pressures this year, 1 sack, 2 hits, 11 hurries, so not bad. He did have 9 sacks in 23, but I don't know, a second-round pick for that guy, dude? That's pretty rich. That's pretty rich, man. Dave, what's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. Bob, I don't hate what you said, though. All right? I don't hate what you said. I really don't. I actually kind of like it. Twiz says Zander's still trying to give up his unborn for Garrett. Twiz, I'm good on that, but I do want Myles Garrett and Eagle Green. Dirty Air says, would love to get another Jordan run next week. That would be great. That would be great, Dirty Air. Here's Harris again. Also, Christian Parker started his career working with Alexander. Oh, that's good context right there. That's good context. So the defensive backs coach in Philly, Christian Parker, started his career working with Alexander. Harris, I would assume that was with Green Bay, unless you're talking college. Alexander played his college ball at Louisville. Unless you're talking college, I don't know Christian Parker's history that well. Dion says, what is this BS? All right, so we swap the 6th and the 7th, and we bring back Jaire Alexander, a player who's on the other side of his prime, but again, I still think it's too little to really get, to say it's a bad trade, but I don't know how good of a trade it was. I'll say that. All right. Big Mike says I'm willing to. No, Big Mike, I'll never do that. Never, Big Mike. I'm just willing to send 4 first-round picks or 3. Not quite anything more than that. Demetrius is spamming 67. Why are you spamming, bro? Relax. Here's Roll Philly. What's up, Roll Philly? Z. I was wrong about Howie. Howie's not making moves, but he is bolstering the secondary because he knows we aren't getting an edge. Well, potential. I still think he's going to get an edge. Roll Philly. Honestly, just giving you what I'm thinking, where I am mentally, I think he's going to get an edge. I don't think it's going to be nothing. It might not be Myles Garrett. I mean, I think there's a low chance of that. But I think he will get an edge, whether it's Jermaine, whether it's Jalen Phillips, whether it's Bradley Chubb, whoever it might be. I will say right now, if I had to predict, we'll be doing another one of these breaking news shows on an edge rusher. I don't know when it will be, but I think they would if I had to tell you what I'm thinking. Daz says he's betting it's Phillips. That's kind of the sweet spot right there, Daz, right, with a 3rd-round pick. 2nd feels a little rich for Jermaine Johnson to me. What's the contract situation, though, with Jalen Phillips? Jaire was born in Philly. Is that right? Yeah, I think you're right, Roll Philly. We have 3 third-rounders this year in the coming draft, so give up a third for Jalen Phillips. I'm cool with that. I'd be cool with that. Let's look at what let's pull up Jalen Phillips. He's like Jeae, right? Jeaelan. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Here's Jalen Phillips. So he is, how old is he? He's 26 years old. Okay, so third-round pick already, I like it more. A first-round draft pick in 2021. He's 26 years old, much younger. Obviously plays college ball at Miami. By the way, Big Sills, if you're listening, how about that Miami dud today? Miami, I'll see you next year. So Jaire had a bad rookie season, graded out great his second year, 79, 23, 66 and 24, 25. He's 65. Let's go look at the stats. Total pressures, so missed a lot of time, obviously, last year. All right, only seven total pressures, only had 134 total snaps. He's already got 400 snaps this year, 32 total pressures, which is, I would say, pretty good. 3 sacks, 4 hits, 25 hurries. All right, I like Jalen Phillips. A third rounder for Jalen Phillips is something I can subscribe to. All right, is something I can subscribe to. That is something I can subscribe to. 32 pressures, 3 sacks this year, 4 hits, and 25 hurries for Jalen Phillips in Miami. He's got 400 total snaps already. Again, take of it what you will. The PFF grade 66. I mean, whatever. I know not everybody likes that. All right. They gave me a pressure percentage here. They do not, it looks like. No, they do not. They should. I don't know why they don't. But all right, everybody. Great show. Let me make sure I got all my super chats. I think I got all my super chats. So, all right, everybody. One more time here. Grade the trade. A, B, C, D, F. A, B, C, D, F. And yes, Philly Matic, thanks for reminding me. Hit the like button, everybody. We should be at least 200 likes right now on a breaking news edition. Eagles trade for Jaire Alexander. They send a 2026 6th-round draft pick. So the upcoming draft 6th-round draft pick. They get back a 2027 7th-round draft pick and Jaire Alexander. So guy got $4 million contract start of the year, $2 million signing bonus, and he's already played half the year. So you're probably looking at half a season, $1 million for a 6th-round pick, and you get back a 7th in Jaire. It's very low cost. Very, very, very low cost. Daz says H for hopeful. It's a shitty grade, Daz. B, because we didn't give up much and possible high upside. Agreed, Roll Phil. It's kind of where I am. I'd say I'm probably C+. I'd probably say I'm C+. North says B-. Brandon Howard says an F. Philly Maddox says C+. All right, so we're kind of in that room. C-, B, B, C. All right, I'm kind of with you guys. I'm like C+. Crowley says a D. Crowley's looking for a game changer. Twiz says C, could possibly be B. Twiz, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Go to humptysdumplings.com. Stephen D'Angelo, B. Hakeem, B. C, B, C, B. Alexander Harris, my boy, A. I love it. All right, so we're kind of all in the room. I mean, we're all in that room. B, C, somewhere in there. C+. All right, C+. So nothing crazy. But again, the number one question to ask yourself on this trade, it's not the stats. It's not the numbers. It's not the injuries. It's none of those things. Because of the compensation, and we know what that is, very little. The number one thing to ask yourself is Jaire Alexander better than Jacorian Bennett, Adoree Jackson, and Keely Ringo? If you think he's better than any of those players, or gives you a bigger upside than any of those players, or you think he improves those players in that position at all, then we gave up little enough for you to say it's a solid trade. Okay? And I think you gave up so little, I don't think you can say it's a failure. That's why I don't like the Fs or the Ds, because if you gave up like a 4th or a 5th, you're like, whoa. That's a bad move. You swapped a 6 and a 7. I mean, come on. We swapped a 6 and a 7. You know, you gave up too little. So I don't like the Ds. I also don't like anything higher than I would say a B because the guy's missed a lot of games, guys. All right, he's missed a ton of games. Let me pull up for you the Jaire. Here's ESPN, Jaire Alexander, the outlook. All right, there's his defensive stats. If you can see them, you can zoom in a little bit. All right. Here, I'll zoom in real quick for you guys. It doesn't really zoom that way. All right, so 25, 2 games played. He's got 5 total tackles, 0 picks. Last year, he had 2 picks. He only played 7 games. So the biggest concern to me is like, all right, you got 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Half of 25. So we got 4.5 seasons. All right, 4.5 seasons. One season, 4 games. Another season, 7 games. Another season, 7 games. And so far through 8 weeks, 2 games. So he's playing under 50%, and in some cases under like 30%, this year 25% of the games in 4 of the last 5 years, or 3.5 of the last 4.5 years. 22, he played 16 games. All right, 22, he played 16 games. So that's probably what I would say the biggest concern would be, because I think the guy's still a very talented player. I mean, he was talented in Green Bay. He was a great corner. He was kind of one of those corners that you talked about around the league is like, that dude's a dog. Like, he's a beast, you know? Like, he locks down people. So, you know, you got some upside here, but a little sketch. 7, 7, 2. 23, 7 games. 24, 7 games. 25, 2 games. 14 games in the last 34. Yeah, that's not too good, Daz. And it actually is probably worse than that. It's probably 16 games in the last, 40-something games. Z, he's a money plug. Zander, do you hunt? Sean, my brother hunts, man. Sean, here's the problem. Ready? My brother's been telling me he wants me to hunt with him. He was out in Montana this year, Sean. He drove out to Montana with a big trailer and a bow and went elk hunting in Montana. But he goes all the time up in, in Jersey and PA. Hunting season is the football season, Sean. I'm a busy man in the football season, my friend. Look, here we are, Saturday night. Happy November 1st, everybody. I hope everybody stays safe during Halloween. Do I look like a Halloween guy to you? I don't think so. Marcus says, good pickup for death. I like it, Marcus, for that. Here's Clary Voy. In Green Bay, he played a lot of man. Probably will revive himself in Vic's zone, similar to Slay. Good point, Clary Voy. Just the injury, though, injury concerns. Yo, Rich, don't play with me like that, Rich. I'll LJ you. Maverick says, I need an effing splash. I'm with you, Maverick. Jeff says, Byron Maxwell. Now, come on, Jeff. Byron Maxwell. We pick swapped a 6 and a 7. Are you kidding me, Jeff? Come on, Jeff. We signed Byron. Wait a second, Jeff. Jeff, I'm going to put you in the neutral bullet now and put you in the blender. Byron Maxwell. We signed Byron Maxwell to a 6-year, $63 million deal in 2015. 6 years, $63 million. Dog, we pick swapped and are paying him $1 million. We pick swapped a 6 and a 7. Come on, Jeff. I love you, Jeff, but come on, my boy. 6 years, 63 M's for Byron Maxwell. And you're comping a 6 and 7 pick swap of Jaire Alexander to that guy? No way. Here's my boy, Eaglevania. I like that name, man. Today's my birthday. Go Birds. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, brother. Appreciate you being here. All right? Appreciate you being here. Where's my boy, Jeff? Come on, Jeff. You know better than that, Jeff. By the way, I told you, I got the vet shirt on today. All right? Got the vet shirt on today. If my boy Tony's listening. What's with getting Senor? I don't really know, dude. He's 28, so he's not like he's at the, he's not like he qualifies for the Commanders roster. Nah, he's been a healthy scratch. John says, this dude is washed up. How can you say the D isn't a reasonable grade? Couldn't even hack it with Baltimore. Terrible day. Well, John, again, is he better than Ringo? Is he better than Adoree Jackson? And is he better than Jacorian Bennett? He gave up, you pick swapped a 6 and a 7 for a half a year rental, man. Dad says, I'm reading Jaire's knee is gone. Well, Jaire Mills. Holy Jeff, you're on a run. Rich, I'm not at the studio, brother. I'm at my family. I'm at I'm at the studio, brother. I'm at the family house right now. So I'm not at the studio. How's it look, though? Does everything sound all right? Is the mic working? Look good, sound good, feel good? How's the internet? Is everything working good? Got a new little setup over here. So you guys got to let me know if everything's good. JB, I'm going to talk to John later. He's at a family dinner, my friend. So no Johnny Mac on this show. No Johnny Mac on this show. But I'll talk to John later. If John texts me, I'm available, but I'll hit him up. All right. Looks good, sounds good. Thank you, Big Mike. Appreciate it, brother. So we'll talk to him. All right, everybody. Good show. A good 45-minute show. Let me make sure I got all my supers. I think I just got one more. Here's Qualified. I got one more from Eaglevania, too. Qualified. What's up, brother? Christian Parker going to bring Alexander back to all-pro glory. All right, let's pump the brakes. Qualified. Let's pump the brakes. Okay? Let's pump the brakes, my friend. All right? Eaglevania says, in this defense, I believe he will be good. All right, Eaglevania. Happy birthday to you, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I do think, honestly, I think he's a little better than the law firm. So here's Jay Carver. James Carver, I got to rip you too. He says, finally a trade at deadline I can support. Now Chubb, not overpriced Garrett. Carver, you're wrong. Carver, you're drop dead wrong. Carver doesn't want Garrett. Carver, I don't say it often. James Carver is wrong. He is wrong. Love you, Carver. I'm getting out of here soon, brother, else I would. All right. Give me Garrett or give me death. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Barry Boy says Garrett might be the best defense. He is, in my opinion. He's the best defensive player in the 21st century. You're talking about the modern day Reggie and Jerome. James Carver's like, nah, I don't want Reggie. I'm good on that. You got the modern day Reggie and Jerome. And Carver's like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good on that. All right? No way. Not me. You can't get me saying I don't want Myles Garrett. So Slagathor says, not lost to me that we get Jaire and our literal next game is against Green Bay. It is. It's true. It's an interesting point. I mean, I don't think they did that, but it is what it is. What do you mean we beat you, GA? What are you talking about? Carver says I would. Carver, don't come in here and start talking heavy on me, brother. All right? Don't come in here and start talking heavy here. All right? I don't want to rip you, Carver. You know, I don't want to put you in the Twiz blender that I put him in on Friday. I don't want to do it. But if you come here talking heavy like that, by the way, we beat Bama. We beat Georgia this year. We just beat them. We beat them last year too, although they obviously had a more successful season. Here's Seth. What's up, Seth? Big Z. JAKIB needs to hire Jeff Cole full time. You know what, Seth? I was thinking about it, man. Jeff Kerr is a boss, man. And he's such a hard worker. I love people that work hard, dude. I do. I love people that work hard. All right. I love people that work hard. Jeff works his ass off. He really does. So we'll see. Samuel says, no, he's not. Sam Shepard says, Zander, Jaire Alexander is for 2026 plans. Sam, he's an unrestricted free agent after the season. What are you talking about? All right. What are you talking about? 2026. It's a rental for half the season. That's what he's for. Dude's not even buying that. The dude might not even rent an apartment. He's just going to go on Airbnb and pick up a place for 6 months in Philly or 4 months in Philly. The dude's not even getting his own apartment complex, Sam. He's going to rent an Airbnb. I'm giving away too many free plugs today. I gave away a free plug to Airbnb, and I gave away a free plug to the NutriBullet earlier. I put Twiz in the NutriBullet. Here's Curtis. Zander, in the words of J Mac, the Eagles are better set up to persevere through injury. We can't have Ringo and Jackson on the field at the same time again. Well, you say you think you're better persevering through injury with a player who's played 16 games of the last 44? Am I reading that right? Or 42? 16 games of the last 42. He's been ready to play. And you think you got better with the injury? I mean, if you can want to say you got more talent in the room, I'm good with that. If you want to say you're better persevering through injury, this dude might be the guy you got to persevere through. This dude is like serially injured in the last couple of years, man. What you're talking about, Curtis. There's my boy, Sean. Spend a day with me, 12-hour shifts, and Sean, that's my boy, brother. Very different life for me, but I'm the same way. I work all day. I love it. I really do. Honestly, Saturday evening, I'm down with the family. I'm with the family, and I'm like, I look at the phone, and I'm like, oh, shit. We traded for Jaire Alexander. Oh, shit. I got to get the phone out. I got to get the laptop out and the mic out. I pulled the mic out. I got everything going, man. So I'm happy to be here with you all. I'm happy to be here with you all, okay? But I'm going to get out of here soon. I do appreciate everybody for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button, all right? Don't forget to hit that like button. I want to be at least 200-plus likes. What are we at? Can somebody tell me what the likes are at? Can someone tell me what the likes are at here? Where are we at on the like button? I want to thank everybody for today and all the super chats as well, all right? Seth, appreciate that. James Carver, love you, brother. Even though you're way off on Garrett, I love you. Qualified, thanks for the super. Eagle Vaney, thanks for the super. Alexander Harris, thank you, brother. Dirty Air, thank you as always, my man. Philly Don, thank you, my boy. I appreciate you, Philly Don. I don't know why you were coming up gray earlier. You're back to green, so you're all good. Kyle, what's up, man? Thank you, brother. 41, thank you. Harris, thanks again. Harris, the big 20. Thank you, Harris. Paul Barbarian, thank you, Paul. Leon Blaze, thank you both. Eagle fan, thank you, brother. Kimberly, thank you. And Blaze again, thank you, man. Appreciate everybody for doing it, all right? I appreciate everybody. Houston, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. 296, thank you, guys. Thank you for the likes. Let's get to 350. Let's get to 350. Jared Hatfield, what's up, Jared? Hopefully no crying today, Jared. Every time I see the name Jared in the chat, along with it, I see some tears. Jared, love you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, here's a super chat to make up for my other super chat after signing Michael Carter. LMAO. But, dog, we got like 10 corners now. I'm having a hard time seeing the vision. I understand, Jared. We got a lot of corners. You guys think they're trading somebody else? You guys think they'll send one of the corners out? Like, you think they could trade a Ringo? You know, Ringo's probably the only guy with trade value, if we're being honest. All right? For being honest. Twiz, I'm not ducking Carver. Twiz, I give you all once a week to come on and say whatever the hell you want from me. Twiz. Shut your bitch ass up, Twiz. Got here late watching Candace. Nice, brother. Big Mike, thanks to Twiz for his blender. There you go. There you go. So, good stuff. Adori's getting cut. That might make sense. Epps, I think they sent Epps to IR, and they put Azeez Ojulari on IR as well. So, I don't know if you'll need a roster spot, but we'll see. Wild Bear, love you too. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the super chats. I'm going to give the trade a C+. C+ for me. C+ for me. That's what I'm giving the trade because it's low risk, very low compensation to Jaire, and I think you're a little better than Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, or Jacorian Bennett. Maybe you're not, but C-, C, B+, B. Killer. Love you, Killer. Appreciate it. All right, Z, thanks for the reaction, bro. Brandon, appreciate you, my man. As always, bro. As always. Only 2 goodbyes tonight. Zander, have a great weekend. Big Mike, I'm with the fan. All right. I'm going to talk to John later, so I might be on later. If John texts me, I'm good to go. I'll do a quick hit later with Johnny Mac. All right. So look for that on the channel if you want to hear John's reaction. I'll do that a little later on. B- Carver. I'm good with a B-. I'm good with a B-. So Sean says, what did we give away? One more time, Sean, I'll give you it because I know you said you got here late. So Sean, we gave up a 2020 a 6th-round pick in the upcoming draft, and we got back a 2027. So like 2 years from now, a 7th-round pick. So you swap the 6 and the 7. They're just in different years. And we have a lot of picks this year, so it kind of makes sense. You get a 7th back in 2027. You gave up a 2026 6th-round pick, and you get back Jaire Alexander. He signed a $4 million contract, had a $2 million signing bonus. So you're probably looking at half a year for $1 million to Jaire. Like, it's really low risk. And you gave up a 6 this year. All right. So, love all you guys. See you next time, everybody.
EAGLES Eagles.